This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a Minnesota State Arts Board Operating Support Grant, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and a grant from the Wells Fargo Foundation, Minnesota.
Welcome to the Schubert Club Music Museum Mini. My name is Chi Bestmann, and today I am going to tell you about my friend here, and his name is Erhu. The Erhu is a Chinese instrument from China. The means two in Chinese. It's because I have only two strings. It could also possibly mean that it is the second instrument in the series of the Huqin family. There is an instrument that's higher in voice than the Erhu, which is called the Gaohu. There is one that is lower than the Erhu, which is called the Zhonghu. So it could be because I have two strings or because I'm number two in that family. Now, the Erhu is made out of a very nice neck here with the strings and these pegs to wind up the strings. And I don't know if you can see a very tiny bridge holding up those two strings over there. It also has a sound box that is small and narrow with many holes in the bottom here or in the back to let the sound out. There's one really cool feature. It is the front cover, which is python skin. The history of Mr. Erhu here, he showed up right around what we call the Tang Dynasty, which is a couple thousand years ago. And he appeared from northern China, really on the outskirts, with a lot of these nomads. And those nomads are known as the Hu people, which could be the reason why it's called the Erhu. The Hu part relates to the people that, in a way, invented this particular instrument. The Erhu is also the earliest known bowed string instrument. And sometimes it's even related to later on what you see in the Western history as the violin family. So this is like the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa of the violin family. Let's talk about the Erhu's sound. As I've mentioned before, since it has a smaller sound box compared to some of these more modern instruments as the violin, see how this is a huge sound box versus this small and narrow sound box. Because of it, it has a kind of You know what? Let me let you think about it. I'll play. I'll play something on my erhu, and I'll play something on my violin, and see if you can tell the difference. Can you tell the difference? I think so, right? So the violin has a much bigger voice, much more clear. This one here just kind of sounds like, I don't know, I have a cold or I have allergies.
So it's a little bit nasal like this.
And it has a lot to do with the fact that I have a smaller but narrow, not just smaller, because smaller doesn't always mean nasal. Smaller but narrow sound box with a very organic animal skin on it. Remember, python skin. Let's talk about some songs that we would normally play on the erhu. Since its sound is on the nasal side, a lot of composers compose slightly sadder, kind of melancholy songs for it. And the next one I'm going to play for you is called Longing for Spring Breeze. It's a Taiwanese folk tune. What do you think? It is on the little somber side, right? How about a little faster paced song? Just because he sounds a little sad doesn't mean he can't produce something kind of fun. Shall I play you a song called, let's see, Songbirds of the Mountain? Let's see if you can hear some birds. Let's talk about how we tune the erhu. I mentioned that we have these pegs that wind up the string for me. And then when I need to tune, I turn the pegs loose when I need to go lower. And then when I tighten up the pegs, tighten up the strings, because of the tension, it makes the string go higher. And now let's talk about my bow. It is made with stick, regular wood stick on one side, and believe it or not, horsehair on the other side. Now the horsehair is what plays the string for me. And the fun fact is that I have to rosin both sides of my horsehair because my bow is stuck between my two strings. Therefore, I have to play one string with one side of the bow hair, the outside of the bow hair for the lower string, and then I have to flip my fingers over to play the outside string with the inside of the horsehair or my bow hair. So when I rosin my bow, I have to rosin the inside and the outside, which Western instrument players don't have to do. Thank you for joining me in learning about the Erhu today. Be sure to come and visit us at the Schubert Club Music Museum, where they actually have an Erhu on the wall.